And welcome one and all to an all-new episode of Super Suits, the comic book YouTube show that lets you know about all the most famous lawsuits in the history of superheroes and comic books. And on today's show, we're going to be looking at Doctor Strange. The Sorcerer Supreme has been in the news a lot recently. We got those awesome new pics of British Bandersnatch, Cucumber Hatchback, Benedict Cumberbatch as Doctor Strange, and I gotta say, they all look pretty great. But did you know that the character of Doctor Strange was once upon a time linked to his very own supersuit? Well, I'm gonna guess the answer is yes, because truth be told, this case was actually pitched to me by one of you awesome fans in the comment section of another video. I'd never heard of it before researching the episode, so it looks like this is the kind of show where everybody's gonna learn a little something. How nice is that? I'm of course talking about the events of Doctor Strange the Sorcerer Supreme number 15, which was the second part of a 1990 storyline that saw everyone's favorite mustachioed magic user going up against vampires. One of the characters in this story was named Morgana Blessing, and she herself was based on a real-life American voodoo practitioner named Marie Laveau, or at least I assume it's Laveau. My pronunciation of Cajun words and names isn't exactly Gambit level, so you'll have to forgive me. The thing is, instead of looking like the real woman, she instead looked like American Christian music songstress Amy Grant. In particular, a picture off her 1986 album entitled The Collection. When Grant's management team caught wind of the cover, they quickly filed a complaint with Marvel Comics, only not for what you might be thinking. Oh no, the Grant camp's problem was not with the picture. In fact, they didn't even own the rights to it. The photographer who took the picture did. No, the Grant camp's lawsuit, which was filed in federal court of Tennessee, was made out of fear that it seemed that Amy Grant was willingly condoning a book that celebrated the occult, a big no-no amongst the Christian music scene of which she belonged. Or as her lawyer put it, fans of Christian music consider interest in witchcraft and the occult to be antithetical to their Christian beliefs and to the message of Christian music in general. Therefore, an association of Amy Grant or her likeness with Doctor Strange is likely to cause irreparable injury to Grant's reputation and goodwill, end quote. A U.S. district court would seal an out-of-court settlement between Grant and Marvel in early 1991 with a consent decree that Marvel did not admit to any liability or wrongdoing. The issue would, however, be pulled from stores, which in its own right makes this case pretty noteworthy because despite its long history, surprisingly, very few comic books get pulled from shelves, and if they do, it's often for very innocuous reasons like print errors. Of course, being a monthly periodical, by the time the ruling went into effect, the issue in question was sold out pretty much everywhere, making this more or less a moot point. What happened to Amy Grant, you might be asking? Well, she transitioned into more pop-centric music, changing up her look and even ruffling feathers amongst more of her hardcore Christian fanbase who called her, quote, too worldly and sexy, end quote. Again, their words, not mine. She also got divorced and remarried. Oh yeah, and won a bunch of Grammys too, I suppose that's also important. And what of Doctor Strange? Well, he's got a movie on the way, so I guess this super suit didn't hurt him that much at all, did it? And now, thanks to me in this show, you have a wonderful piece of trivia to wow people when you wait in line for the movie. So I guess that will just about do it for me in another episode of Super Suits. As always, I hope you enjoyed the episode, I hope you learned a little something, and if there are any other famous comic book lawsuits you would like to see me cover on the show, by all means sound off in the comments section below. And in the meantime, if you want to learn some more about the magic side of the Marvel Universe, Scott has you covered with this awesome video on Scarlet Witch. Or maybe, just maybe you want to hear more from me. I covered my favorite comics of 2015 over on Cape Jewel, and you can see that right here. And to keep up with Super Suits and all the other great videos coming from NerdSync, all you got to do is click that big red shiny subscribe button of Agamotto.